What's going on, people? Welcome to Man Knows Football. You're here with myself and Younes. Apologies for the lateness. Although lateness is supposed to be greatness, it is what it is. But we are here on a day where it's just like I see a lot of panic, a lot of doomsday thinking, and rightly so. Like, if you're not really fully informed with what's going on and you're taking the headlines for face value, it's not a good look. But obviously, before I continue, please make sure you do smash up that like button. Also subscribe if you are new. Right now, we're not even that far off 6K. Hopefully, we can make it happen by the end of today. And yeah, man, Younes, I see you've done a video as well discussing the Roman Abramovich situation. But let us know your feelings on what you know so far before I get into the information that I've actually come into. That's not all doom and gloom, by the way, but go on.
I mean, yeah, we didn't expect this, did we? Like this morning, we all woke up to the same news, and shock, really. And obviously, since then, we've had Chelsea release a statement. Roman's been sanctioned, of course. Everything's been, I don't want to say completely taken away as of yet, but everything's been frozen. Everything's been basically cut off. There's no money coming into the club whatsoever. And since that point this morning, we've had a couple of developments. So obviously the mega store is shut. Frankie's bar at the bridge is shut. Those staff, according to Pat Nevin, have been partially laid off, which is mad because during furlough times and all of that, Chelsea didn't even furlough one member of staff. They were one of the few teams that actually just kept everyone working. So yeah, we've had some staff laid off. Since that point as well, 3 have pulled out in terms of the sponsorship. So I think tonight, I don't think we're wearing 3. That's been removed from all club branding already. There's Hyundai who are reviewing. They're probably going to make the same move. Hublot are reviewing. They're probably going to make the same move
as well.
Zap, Trivago, they're reviewing. They've all come out and said they're reviewing. They're going to end up doing the same as 3. We might not have any sponsors by the end of tonight. Now, it's mad because obviously with this whole situation, the way that the government have put it is that it's up to Roman. Like, everything's been cut off. It's up to Roman now. Roman needs to... Actually, let's take one step back. So prior to this happening, Roman wanted to sell the club. And then any money that comes in from the sale, he would pretty much take back what he put into the club when he bought the club in terms of buying Chelsea. Mm-hmm. And then the rest, the net proceed, will go into his charitable foundation that will go on to fund victims of Ukraine and what's going on over there. Now, the government have frozen everything. So what the government want to do, apparently, is pursue with a sale, but all the money that's going to be made will now be going to the British government rather than Roman. And Roman won't be taking a penny. But for all of that to happen, Roman now needs to officially give Chelsea away to the government. And we're waiting on that. So is he going to do that now, soon? We don't know.
Well, here's the thing, right? And obviously there's no concrete knowledge to this. It's just a thought that I had. That statement that Roman Abramovich came out with, to me, now that we look at it after everything that's happened, could it be that he already foresaw this coming and put it into the public to let them know that this is something that he is willing to do anyway? But obviously, I understand, because I understand that the situation is like before it was donating the net profit and not reclaiming the loan, right? So that means he's left with nothing anyway. So really and truly, we can look at it as if the British government is calling his bluff. The sanctions have been done. We've heard what you've said. Now, let's see if you're going to do what you're ready to do. But this is the thing, yeah? Roman, in that statement, because we need to be precise here, because people are just going to be like, you're pulling things out of thin air. So I pulled out exactly what he said. I will not be asking for any loans to be repaid. This has never been about business nor money for me, but about pure passion for the game and club. That's number 1. Number 2, moreover, I've instructed my team to set up a charitable foundation where all proceeds from the sale will be donated. The foundation will be for the benefit of all victims of the war in Ukraine. This includes providing critical funds towards urgent and immediate needs of victims, as well as supporting the long-term work of recovery. So two things has happened there that he's just stated. The net profits, he's not taking. The loan, he's not taking. And the charitable fund. Now, this is where I think the British government might be a bit skeptical. They might say, okay, cool. You've absolved yourself from taking any of the proceeds from the sale of the club, but we don't trust you putting it into a foundation because you haven't specified who the victims are. But that's a conversation for another day. So that's probably why I think that foundation situation might be problematic in this whole situation. But in terms of him actually giving up his ownership the way he said, I don't really doubt that because he's already sort of distanced himself from it anyway.
You know what's mad with the whole with that approach? Did Roman actually foresee this? Maybe he did, yeah, maybe he did. But at the same time, the fact that if he were to, well, obviously he was going to sell the club, that wasn't going to be done overnight. And we all knew that. Now, whether in his head, if he thought, let's put the club up for sale, that way they'll cut me some slack and give me some breathing space, maybe. And we discussed that, innit? We thought maybe that would be the condition that he and the government maybe come to an agreement on. That, you know, yeah, he's going to get rid of Chelsea and all his assets. Just give him time to get rid and he'll be on his way. Although when the sale does happen, or if the sale was going to happen, that was going to bring in excess of 3 billion, right?
Yes.
He'll take back whatever he's put in terms of buying the club in the first place, obviously with rate of inflation compared to 2003. And then the rest will be going to his charitable foundation.
Yes.
You know, that's a big sum of money, which technically is still going to him, but it's his charitable foundation. And those funds will be distributed off to Ukraine or the victims of what's going on over there at the moment. So
yeah,
when you bear that in mind, the government have come in now and gone, you're not doing any of that now. That's gone. You're cut off. You ain't getting a penny. Is Roman going to just go, yeah, okay? I mean, I feel like he is obliged. I don't feel like there's another way out of this. I feel like he just has to. But that's going to, does that hurt him? Is he going to try and just maybe haggle this process on a little bit? But the longer he does, the longer Chelsea suffer.
That's the problem, and that's
the uncertainty we're in now.
Yeah, this is the issue that we're all faced with, and this is why I'm thinking, you know, Roman doesn't have a choice but to take the L, because it's either he doesn't have much options here. It's either he digs his feet in the ground and the club operates as is, and it can't run for much longer like this. Let's have it right.
Yeah.
Or he just does what's necessary, gets rid of the club. Unfortunate circumstances that he's not in control of, and you know, Chelsea Football Club, hopefully we move on to owners that are going to continue the vision. But the British
also,
go on.
A quick one, sorry. The another thing that we've got to be kind of concerned about is when Roman was in charge of being able to see the sale go through.
Yeah,
the Rain Group are going to try and identify who would be best to take the club forward.
Yeah.
Right. And that was going to be a process. Well, now, if it's in the hands of the government, they ain't going to be fussed about that. In terms of taking the club forward. Now, listen, we want to just get the sale done and then you do what you want.
That's true. Concern. Now, I think it's gone from obviously the due diligence process to who's going to buy it fastest at this stage.
That's it.
Now, listen, the silver lining in that cloud is whoever is able to buy Chelsea at the drop of a hat is definitely somebody who should be able to afford to sustain the club. I'm just trying to take the positives from it.
Oh, yeah, completely. They all will be financially, yeah.
That's what I mean. That's the positive.
That their intention.
Yeah, the intention is what's different. Now, the government have come out of a statement. We've just literally just spoken over about it. While the current license does not permit the sale of the club at this time, the government is open to a sale of the club and would consider an application for a new license to allow for a sale. Yeah. Proceeds from any sale could not go to the sanctioned individual while he is subject to sanctions. So all of this talk, Chelsea has been frozen. Chelsea will go into administration. Chelsea cannot be this and that and the other. It's nonsense. It can. It's like Younes said at the beginning of the stream. It's really down to whether Roman Abramovich follows through with the concept of what he wanted to do before the sanctions came. Now, I say concept, I'm not holding him word for word because the conditions have been changed, and the fact that there is a huge, I'm like 90% possibility they're not going to allow him to donate the funds where he wants them to go. They will remain in control of that. So it's just that really that he has to agree to. And then I think once the takeover happens, hopefully we got to see what happens then. But the point of this whole stream was that, you know, you see other bigger YouTubers, they're talking about, oh, this is the end of Chelsea. They're not going to be winning trophies again. They're not going to be doing this and that. They're not going to have another Abramovich era. Well, let's be realistic. Yeah. While Abramovich has been here over the 20 years, he's averaged out 1 trophy a season, right?
Yep.
Or close to that. Even with Abramovich still in power from now to the next 20 years, there's no guarantee we're going to do the same thing. The landscape has changed on so many levels in the past 20 years, so it doesn't make sense to even hold that. Yeah. And then there's also the possibility at the fact that the next owner coming in could actually be more of a frivolous spender than Abramovich ever was.
It's possible. It's possible. But this is the thing, like, it could technically swing either way. We could be fine. Like, we could actually just all be fine. At the end of this, like, yeah, new owner walks in, and then we might even have more available to us. We might have more investment. We might have faster growth. We might have all of that. It's a possibility. At the same time, we could end up going into administration in May if action isn't taken, if Roman delays or whatever. We could end up with a 9-point deduction. We could... But that uncertainty is what's creating the fire at the moment. Like, it's no one knows what the hell is going to happen, and that's the problem. That's the problem,
and especially with players and all that. We got to remind them. You see, in the midst of this uncertainty, this is where papers are at their peak. Media will sell the shit out of it.
Yeah,
because there's nothing to tell them otherwise. So this is basically the Wild West for them. It's open season for them to write whatever they want. So this is why you're seeing what you're seeing. Now, in terms of the day-to-day operations of Chelsea Football Club, Younes, I've briefly skimmed through it. If there's anything that I'm missing, please add on. But as it stands currently in the situation that we're in, we cannot sell any more tickets, home or away. So if you're not a season ticket holder, you cannot get a ticket. Yeah, you are just not going, bro. The only way you're doing it is if you're standing outside the stadium. Yeah. So it's only season ticket holders for now. And for the Newcastle fans that have already paid for the away tickets for the game this weekend at the Bridge, they'll be allowed to attend the stadium because it's already been prepaid for. In terms of transfer plans, yeah, even before this whole sanction thing, we were saying, Younes, forget about it. Take your transfer plans and throw them in the bin, because while all this is going on, there's none of that. Now, another thing on top of that is the fact that we cannot renew contracts. So there's the situation with Rudiger, there's the situation with Azpilicueta, Kante, Jorginho. So there's a few players that, you know, might walk away from the club. I think the most immediate one is Anthony Rudiger and Azpilicueta. Those are the two whose contracts
definitely going. Yeah.
Well, yeah. So there's that. The most ironic thing, though, that this British government has allowed is that Chelsea will be allowed to sell food and drink. So, yeah. So that's the upside of it. That's the upside. We'll be allowed to have some food and drink at the stadium if you've got a season ticket, by the way.
Yeah.
If you don't, you're just going to be told to F off and go back home. So that's the situation. Thank you, British government. But due to Chelsea being a cultural and community asset, they've been allowed to trade at minimal margins. Listen, what I'm hearing is, Younes, you might be able to give a bit of context on this. We might be screwed when it comes to the Champions League in terms of our travel.
Completely.
Haven't we been capped at a certain amount that we're allowed to spend?
Yeah, and even Chelsea have already made it clear. We've been allocated 500,000 per match day, and we've been allocated 20,000 in terms of travel costs. And Chelsea have already gone, listen, that's not enough. You're going to have to increase that. And the government, I don't know if the government will or they won't, but right now, that's a worry. And it's not a worry for now, because obviously we've got Lille coming up. Maybe it might even affect, if we haven't planned in advance for that travel to Lille, and we haven't got everything already booked, we've got to somehow try and find a way to get everyone to Lille.
Yeah.
And people are going to say, oh, it's easy. Just get them on a plane or get them on a train. It's not as easy as that. When you're top-end Premier League club, you ain't trying to fly EasyJet right? To
Yeah,
nil. You're not
and on
doing
top
it.
of that, they think it's just a 25-man squad that's flying.
Exactly. They don't realize it's an entire delegation that's going out there, bruv. It's not just players. It's not just a squad. There's staff, medical teams, all sorts, backroom staff, all sorts that are going out, plus administration as well that are heading over there. So it's money in terms of hotels. Like, where are we going to stay? Easy hotel. Are we going to try and find them €20 a night? Bargain, or we got Airbnb, but get an Airbnb for the lads. Like, we might have to actually do that. It's peak. That's the problem, and that's just for Lille. What happens if we make the quarterfinal? What about the 2 legs there? Or well, the away leg in the quarterfinal if we have to go to Madrid or somewhere? What about a semi-final if we make it to that? What about a final if we make? We could get to a point where we just can't afford to go.
Yeah,
and then we'd have to forfeit. It's not even losing on the pitch at that point. It's just.
And if we
can't take part,
if we forfeit, will we get fined for that by UEFA?
We'll get punished, exactly.
Yeah, it's a messy situation. Fred, the Chelsea fan, I feel bad for you, bro, because in the earlier comment you did say that you've flown all the way from here to watch Chelsea, and then you've got this news today. But in terms of the 3 UK news, now Matt Lawton has tweeted. I don't know how reliable this guy is, but Matt Lawton has tweeted, telecommunications company 3 has asked Chelsea to remove their branding from their shirts immediately, having now suspended their sponsorship deal with the club.
Yeah. 3 have also published a statement saying that they've just done it. It's on Twitter. It's on Twitter as well.
So that's the end of that.
Mm-hmm. They've removed everything.
Right. So look,
like tonight, we're not playing with 3,
but we're still playing with fans. So that's what matters.
That's what matters, man. As long as we're wearing blue vests, I don't care.
And listen, and as fans, we're gonna go through a lot of stick, banter-wise, everything. But like, what matters is we gotta support this club. We've got to support this club. We've had 20 years under this guy of nothing but just A1 success. Yeah. And if there's anybody thinking of turning on the club now that it's a bit uncertain, you got yourself, bruv, you supported the wrong club in the first place. You get me? You got to question your loyalty on that one, because I've seen, whether it's bants or not, social media, not everyone's serious, but I've seen some people say, well, Chelsea are gone. I'm going to go support Man City now. There's actually, there's a video of somebody actually burning their Chelsea shirt and putting a Man City one on, by the way. But they're from here. Ridiculous.
Bruv, I spoke to George earlier on, and I was like, yo, it's going to get to a point now where you're going to see some fans migrating. You're going to see some fans, so-called fans, I call them so-called fans, going and trying to find success elsewhere. See you later. You know where the door is. Don't let it hit you on the way out. And it's going to test people's loyalty. But Chelsea's bigger than Roman. Chelsea's bigger than the government. Chelsea's bigger than everyone. Bigger than all of us.
Yeah, 100%.
This club today celebrates 117 years of its existence. Since that conversation in the Chelsea pensioner, I think it's the Chelsea pensioner, but the pub by the bridge, where that conversation happened, was exactly 117 years ago today. Bruv, this is bigger than all of us. So 100%. Chelsea will remain, even if we ended up going down to Sunday League, man, playing #United and SC Dons and all them lot. We're still here.
We're still here. 100%, still here. 1,000% still here. Still a Chelsea fan, brother. Don't matter. And we've said this publicly. Don't even need to say it publicly. It goes without saying. I'll support them wherever they go. You get me? Wherever they go. I don't care that I'm doing content on YouTube or how it's going to look for me. I don't care. That's my team and I'm going to support them. But really, because I know you don't have much time, we're going to just go for an extra 5 minutes. I just want to end this on a positive note, since it has been a bit of doom and gloom. How positive this is to some, I don't know. But Matt Law has come out with another article today. Again, I have to be careful because it is behind the paywall, so I can only take small little snippets that I think are important and relate to this discussion myself and Younes are having. But Matt Law has said that potential buyers are not put off the sanction of Chelsea Football Club. So again, backs up what we're saying. It basically means that these quote unquote 10 interested investors are still very interested in buying the club. And the Telegraph Sport, this is quote unquote from the article, Telegraph Sport has contacted one of the prospective buyers who have insisted their interest remains just as strong as it were, and are hopeful a solution can be found that allows the sale of Chelsea. On that note, right, the administration talk and all of this uncertain summer and all that, that there tells me that the prospective buyer is not going to wait for those extremities to happen. it won't happen. I don't see it happening. This whole talk of administration, this and that and the other, I don't see it happening for several reasons, even outside of football. Just like I was saying to you off camera, just the real estate reasons of the club. They're not going to let something as prestigious as that. Because listen, whether you like Chelsea or not, that's a national treasure in England. It is. It is. They're not going to just let that sit and rot. The revenue capability for this and all that, I don't know, bruv. I don't see it being as doom and gloom as what everybody's saying, to be honest.
Time's going to reveal all, obviously, because it's a tough one, and for now we have to just see how it proceeds between Roman and the government. That's step one. But yeah, in terms of everyone else going forward, yeah, I think in the end we'll be okay. We'll be okay, regardless. We'll be okay. But even in terms of the team and the players, this is going to affect all of them. I know, like, even tonight there's a meeting before the game apparently with all the players. Some of them are concerned about their situations, so we'll see. Tuchel's staying. Tuchel's already made it clear he's staying. Bruv, Tuchel's a real one, man.
I was just about to read the tweet that Simon Phillips just tweeted, and that is because of Mr. Joey Wahibi. He did send it to me, my DM, so big up yourself, Joey. Always helping out, man. You get me? But Thomas Tuchel will not quit Chelsea after Roman Abramovich sanctions. Thomas Tuchel will not quit Chelsea after Roman Abramovich sanctions, despite Manchester United interest. Even before the measures were announced, up to 6 clubs registered an interest in Tuchel. So Tuchel himself has said that he's staying at Chelsea Football Club. And that, to me, that gesture puts him up there as the greatest Chelsea manager that we've had in our lifetime. I'm sorry. I love you, Mourinho, for what you did. Yes, you went to United. Yes, you went to Tottenham and all this. But this here, this gesture of that, what Thomas Tuchel has done is more than his finances, and it's more than football. You want to take a look at loyalty, look at Thomas Tuchel. And we are blessed to have him. Remember, this is one of the best managers in the world. He's got the choice of anywhere. He can displace people from their managerial seats now at clubs that we speak at big clubs. And he's decided to stay with us. On that note, we're going to leave it there as the positive. You get me? We're Chelsea Football Club. We're going to get through this. This is the worst that it's going to get. I don't anticipate this getting any worse. If it does, I'll be quite surprised. Right now, it's just about hoping for a smooth transition. And hopefully, we can get this done before the summer. We can have some kind of vision going into the summer, rebuild of the team. Let's see what happens. Younes, thank you very much for joining me. Before we go, make sure you plug what you've got going on today.
I mean, it's all Chelsea at the moment, man. Obviously, there's the watch along at 7 o'clock, just after, and then we'll go through the game, see what happens, then the match review, and then we'll keep up with all this up until the weekend where we play Newcastle. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, it's going to be. It definitely is. I've actually set up my YouTube link for the watch along later on, because I know last time I said I was going to do it, but I got sick. But this time, to definitely solidify my word to the people in the chat, because I hate breaking my word to the people in the chat, I have already set it up, so there's no backing out from it. We will be going from 2:15 Eastern time, which would be 7:15 UK time, so make sure you do join us for the watch along. Love having you lot there. But wherever you are, whatever you're doing, please make sure you do stay safe, and I hope to see you at the watch along. Younes, thank you very much. Younes' details, my details are down there in the description. All clickable links, done all the work for you. So you just click, go straight there. Make sure you support if you're not already. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. Road to 10K, almost at 6. And I promise that's it. We're gone now. Guni's going to stop talking in a bit, people.